Alright guys, let's go. This is DM and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to now episode 4 of Steve Jackson's Sorcery Part 1. And on the last episode, well for one actually, let me just say I'm sorry I didn't have an episode for you last Saturday. Shit happens. I don't know what to tell you. I don't always get to control my life. I wish I could. I wish I was in control of my life, but I'm not. So yeah, I didn't have an episode last Saturday. We do have one this Saturday, obviously. Hi. Uh, But in the last episode that we did upload, which was 2 Saturdays ago, we came across a witch, which is pretty cool. I didn't know she was a witch. I thought she was just going to be some random person. And we fought a rat bear, and then we got through. Can I see? I forget I can. Yeah, we got through Dumfus, where, if I remember correctly, we kind of like incited, or not incited a riot, but encouraged these guys to go over to Kristatani, to kind of help them out with some kind of like a goblin problem that they're having. Our overall goal, I don't really remember if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I think I got to get over here somewhere. I know we're trying to find, or either trying to find a crown or we're trying to deliver a crown, one or the other. But right now we are stuck at a choice, either go uphill or go downhill. Uphill seems easier. I don't know. It looks like uphill I might be going through some crazy stuff, but this is a town right here, so let's go the easy way. Or let's go to the town. The gentle upward slope becomes a steep climb, and you are forced to rest several times. My stamina didn't go down though. So far, you have been walking through the foothills. Now the journey will become more serious. We died in like the first episode. If you don't remember, go back and watch it. So now it's more serious. Great! I can't wait to die every episode now. When you finally reach the summit and can look out over the low plateau you have crested, you see the path runs through a small settlement of crudely fashioned huts. I already regret coming here. Look at this picture, man. Do you regret it? I regret it. There are villagers out in the street talking and working. It seems a happy, bustling place. What about this looks happy and bustling to you? We need to work on our terminology here, Steve Jackson. I'm going to watch for a little while longer because I ain't crazy. I ain't crazy. I'm a little crazy. That's none of your business, though. You stay at your vantage point and watch a little while longer to see if things change. After a while, you begin to notice something strange about the way the people in the village are moving. First, you notice one is limping, then another. Then you realize they are all shuffling as they move. Some use sticks. One is even crawling. You stay hidden and watch for longer. After a while, you realize that whatever is happening in the village, it is desperate. There is no laughter, no joy. There is no trade or commerce. The women do not walk about, and the men do not watch them. It is a village stripped of all its life. Am I a hero and go and figure this out? It's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad. They're gonna either be like cannibal. I'm gonna stay away. You have seen enough. Taking to the low scrub, you walk a quarter circle around the village to the far ridge. Looking back, you can now see the village a little closer. There are red crosses marked on some of the doors. It is a sign of the plague. You shudder, thank your spirit, and move on. The path turns down a steep, scree slope and into some trees. Boom. See, we could have gone and tried to save everybody, but you know what would have happened? We would have died. Like we did in the first episode. Boom, saved everybody. Join the lower path. Yeah, fuck that shit. It is difficult to see the way ahead through the tree line, but you trust to the course and eventually the path bursts out onto a narrow stone ledge high above the valley floor. The ledge leads left and right. There is no way forwards. So if I'm coming down that way, my right would be the way I want to go. I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat. I'm going to look right. Looking right, you are taken aback. As out of the mist that fills the valley, an impossibly wide bridge looms into view, as if it had only now fallen into place. It is made of planks and thick ropes, and is suspended from this peak to the peak on the other side. Who could have built such a marvel, and how long ago? We'll glance left. Looking to the left, you can see that the narrow ledge is formed by a splitting of the rock that leads all the way down to the misty valley floor. If there is a path up on the other side, it is not clear from here. Look at the bridge. You take a moment more, staring at the bridge. It forms a delicate curve across the valley, swaying very slightly in the wandering wind. But the more you look, the more it seems too perfect. Could such a bridge possibly exist? Or is it a mere illusion to trick the incautious traveler? They really want me to rest. This option is there. Getting to your feet once more, you take a moment to find your balance before moving on. One slip here, and you will fall a long way down. I'm intrigued by the bridge. See, these mines, man, you're gonna take me through the mines or something, and there's just gonna be shit there, or you're gonna take me to the bridge and the bridge is gonna fall. So everything's horrible. Oh shit. Can I look at my spells? Spell book. This volume contains the 48 spells of the High Craft as discovered and passed down from generation to generation of sorcerers from the earliest days of the Eastern world. Each spell is formed of 3 letters, and each spell will take energy to cast. Furthermore, some spells will fail without the use of a particular item or focus. The 6 most useful spells: Zap, Foff, Law, Dumb, Hot, Wall. Wall creates a wall. Hot's Fireball. Dumb makes people clumsy. Foff is Force Field. FO field? Yeah, I get it. Law enables non-intelligent creatures to be controlled. Law, okay, control, yeah. And Zap is a lightning bolt from the fingertips. Not gonna read through all this, I don't think you guys want to. Zap, hot. Oh, okay, more information, okay. Requires 1 gold piece. Fantastic. And that's, oh, okay, these are not all those. So there's Foff Wall, Zap, alright, Zap Hot, Foff Wall, Law Dumb. Those were the 6 most useful. Big. When this spell is cast on the caster's own body, it will inflate the body to 3 times normal size. This increases the power of the caster and is especially useful against large opponents, but must be used with caution in confined spaces. So I don't want to cast that anytime soon because we're by a ledge. Walk is a shield. A coin turns into a metal shield. Stop is basically your Alohomora. Raz is like razor. Think Raz razor. Sus is like spider sense. 6 creates multiples. 6. Jig is dance. Gob is like a summoning of goblins. Yob is summoning of a giant. Gum is to gum people up. It's like the web spell from Dungeons and Dragons look like. How is literally asking, how do I go to the next place, I guess. Doc is requires an additional potion. Will, while the spell is active, heal any creature who drinks the potion may be used by the caster. I guess it makes the potions more, like, better. All right, we're not gonna go through all these anymore. All right, so bridge, valley, bridge, valley. I'm curious about the bridge. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The bridge is worth looking at least. If it is sound, you will be able to tell. If not, the other route will still be waiting. As the ledge winds and weaves its way around the cliff, you reach the peak where the bridge is deeply anchored by its enormous stone foot. Beside this is a small, disheveled hut. I'm not gonna just walk across. A small little shack is barely large enough to house a goblin, but somebody has decorated it in a weird fashion, with outlines of figures, tall and short and stocky, drawn in faded shades of wood, and some in blood-red colored clouds. And from a few of these figures, actual bones protrude from the walls themselves as if they formed part of the structure. Whatever lives in here may have force beyond the physical. Goodbye. You've changed your mind. You damn right I have. And we're gone. The bridge seems untrustworthy. Should anything happen while you were halfway across it, there would be no escape but the last and most final kind. It's better to walk. You make your way along the stone ledge. The angle is steep and it's hard not to stumble. At the valley floor is a dried up river, covered in worn stones, honed by water that is now long gone. Small caves open in the rock face nearby, with rusted machinery abandoned outside. There was mining here once, but it must have been a long time ago. A wider track leads up the far slope. Always look around. You pause for a moment to recover your breath and look around. You walk for a while between the ancient machines that list out of the mud beside the riverbed. Gigantic hoppers now bronze with rust, and huge spiked wheels on their sides, and chutes leading between them, now thick with bindweed, slugs, and mud. Whatever these machines were for, they have not worked in decades, maybe even centuries. You approach the mine entrance. A wet wind greets you from the depths. The mine shaft must lead somewhere, but it is pitch dark, there are no torches, and you do not have any light of your own. Go inside. Outside your mind. So we're going toward this fucking hut anyway. Oh god. Your breath is short, and your heart is hammering as you pause, halfway up the valley slope. A small wooden hut is opposite, set a little way back from the path. You continue along the path, walking quickly, in the hope that whatever is inside will not see you. You walk fast and confidently, and are quickly beyond the eye line of the doorway. Something was inside. There was a glimpse of a brooding shadow within, but you will be better off not knowing. You damn right. Keep walking. If he doesn't say my name, he's not talking to me. Another hour passes as you finish the climb. With the sun starting to hang heavy in the sky, you reach the top and meet with the other end of the rope bridge. It may look stable, but is undoubtedly a death trap set to part travelers from their gold and from their lives. You continue on down the slope as the evening draws in. So I like looking behind me a lot, just in case crazy shit happens. I'm suspicious of everything. Some way down the hill, you stop for a rest and sit on a boulder to survey what lies ahead. The path leads downward, and at its foot, cradled between three peaks, is a village, and a quite large one at that. Behind you, the sun is falling rapidly into the hills. It will be night soon. Baby, baby. The village looks like a good place to stop. You hop down from the boulder and make your way forward, when an overhanging branch touches your face and you hear a lively chirping. Your arm rushes for your sword, and you pull it clear. Something nearby leaps backwards. Hovering by your shoulder is a small creature the size of a bird, too small for your sword to cut. It is childlike, but very thin, with green skin, and it flits around you on transparent wings. It seems friendly enough. It even lands on your shoulder, its tiny clawed toes pinching slightly. We're assholes in this game. Get off me, flying rat. And hello to you, the creature replies, chirping. My name is John. John? It's got a tail. What are you? The creature does a backflip and gives a low bow. I'm a mini-mite. Pleased to meet you. It reaches out a tiny hand and shakes your earlobe. I'll eat you if you try that again. I'll choke you if you do, the creature whips back. Tiny bones. What can you tell me about the village? You point down the valley. Is it safe? That's Baratanti, and it's very safe. It's the largest village in the whole of the Shamutante Hills. Shamutante. Every traveler who comes this way spends at least one night there. So it's a little bit expensive, especially for mini-mites, but it's pleasant enough. The creature starts hopping up and down. Come on, it grumbles impatiently. Let's get going, can't we? What do you want with me? See that village, the creature replies. Last time I tried to go through there, they told me I wasn't welcome. So I wouldn't mind some protection. And what do I get? My advice. I'm small, but I've got a big brain. Means I've been a lot of places and I can remember them too. The creature flits to your other shoulder once more. You're not in any hurry, are you? It observes. Do you want to sleep out in the rough? Well, let's get going then. The creature shakes you by the ear in excitement, and you set off along the path once more. You descend into the bow of the valley. The hills on either side are toweringly tall and throw the village into deep shadow. It would seem a very gloomy, threatening place, but from the streets come the distant sound of laughter and merriment. Thank you, God. First place. We haven't, like, it hasn't been, like, dark and gloomy and plague and goblins and blah 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 blah. You continue along the path. The sound of festivities grow louder. It's almost spooky here in the shade of the valley, and after so long on the dire road. The people in this village seem to be enjoying themselves. See, the mini mite on your shoulder remarks? I told you it was a happy place. John, what's going on here? Are they bewitched? John shakes his head. Oh, it's a guy. I thought it was a girl. No, if there was magic, believe me, I'd know. This is the festival of the young. What's that? Well, take a look. John waves a little hand around the village. The idea is that once a year the children are allowed the freedom of the village. It is a time of great fun and lots of pranks. It becomes quickly obvious what he means. You pass the first few buildings where you find a number of children sitting in the street and drinking ale from deep mugs. Further on, a young boy is holding an old woman over his knee and is spanking her. On the other side of the street, a group of boys is fighting outside a hut with a sign that reads Glandragor's Tavern. It is all complete mayhem. Behind the bar, a thick-set man is wiping mugs down with an old rag. Greetings, stranger, he calls. I'm Glandragor. Can I be helping you? Greetings. I've come a long way. I'm sure you have. Take a seat. You do so, and John leaps up and onto the counter. Glandragor seems amused rather than alarmed by the creature. How much is ale? You ask. 2 gold pieces, and it's the finest in town. Well, it's the only ale in town. I make sure of that. I have no gold, you lie. The innkeeper gives you a long, hard look, deciding whether or not he trusts you. Then he relents and pours you a mug. Don't tell anyone I gave you that, but it's on the house, Glandragor smiles. You look like you've been on the road a while. You have no idea, you reply. Glandragor nods. Tell me about this village. Glandragor shrugs. Not much to say. What you see is what you get. This place keeps going because it's the only route between Kar and Cantopani. If one of these mountains falls or the river freezes over, then this place will be a desert in 2 weeks. I'm heading for Kar myself. Of course you are. He grins. Didn't I just tell you that? Alright, smartass. What can you tell me about it? Haha, Kar. I loved the girl in Kar once. It's the town for love, you know. I have to live every day like, or I'm sorry, you have to live every day like it's your last in Kar because the chances are high that it will be. Now there's a city of thieves if there ever was one. I can watch my back. Well, don't forget to watch your front as well, Glandragor beams. They'll come at you whichever way. Glandragor goes back to wiping down his bar, then a thought occurs to him. You'll be passing through Torapani, I suppose. The Spins in Torapani are normally a merry lot, but they're pretty depressed at the moment. There's a real gloom about the place. Well, what's the matter with him? Oh, well. He thinks for a moment, then waves away whatever was on the tip of his tongue. I'm sure it's nothing of concern to you. From the counter, John issues a loud burp. He's been sipping ale from puddles on the bar top, and is now quite drunk. You poke the little creature, who clambers boozily up your finger, but then topples off and onto the floor. Leave him there if you like, Glandragor says. I'll pick him up and put him in a mug. But you don't quite manage it. At the last moment, John rouses himself and flies wobblingly back onto your shoulder. I love you, he whispers into your ear. Well then, so far so good. You head out of the tavern and turn a corner to find a group of girls standing by a signpost pointing to the crystal waterfall. They are tripping up their elders as they pass and giggling. You stop by the group and ask them about the waterfall, but they are too distracted by John, whom they delight in poking, tickling, and generally cooing over. After a few minutes of asking them about the waterfall, you give up and walk away. One of the girls calls, come back. Another shouts, "The water is good for you." John sighs, already missing the attention, but comes back to rest of your shoulder. I don't know if that's how. You leave the girls to their snickering. Let's. We need an inn. You find the village inn buried under a rocky overhang. The proprietor stands in the doorway, a formidable young girl armed with a baker's paddle. "What do you want?" she squeaks at you. "Room and board." 9 gold pieces, the girl answers stubbornly. "How much for a room?" "5 gold pieces," she says. "Plenty of travelers in Baratanti. We only want the best." You pay the girl 5 gold pieces, and it hurts you in your soul, and she directs you up a winding set of stairs to a room in the rafters of the house. From here you have a perfect view over the madness in the streets outside. Children are running riot with blazing torches, waving them in the faces of the adults they pass. A few men have their legs and arms tied around fence posts. If this wasn't a festival, it'd be a revolution. Gonna regret it. Oh my god. But never mind their problems. Lying down with your sword unsheathed and ready in your grip, you stretch yourself out on the straw matting. Jan curls up under your ear. His presence is calming and peaceful. The noise from the streets begins to subside as darkness spreads across the village. Your stomach rumbles painfully as you try to sleep. Your dreams are filled with walking, with peaks and valleys and endless paths. A curious light plays across them, building walls to heights before ruining them as it moves away. The rest of the night passes silently. Alright. You rise early. As you gather your things, Jen leaps up and onto your shoulder. "Ready to go?" he chirps. You head downstairs and out of the inn, noting on the way that the girl who let you in is now sitting quietly behind a chair while her parents clean and prepare a breakfast of baked bread. You head outside and follow the path to the far side of Baratanti. The sun sits on the horizon like a gleaming jewel. If all goes well, you will reach Torapani today, the last village in the Shumanti Hills. Shuma, Shumatanti Hills. After a short climb, the path breaks, heading uphill to the left and downhill to the right. "Which way, John?" "To the right is a forest. To the left the going is easier. The path heads through a field of black flowers to Torapanti." "What else do you know?" you demand suspiciously. "Nothing," protests the creature, "and that's a fine way to talk to your guide. I'm not charging you for my advice, you know." You'll get no more from the creature. With Torapanti so close, it hardly matters which way you go, surely. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Black flowers, huh? I don't know if anybody here has seen the movie, oh, hey, look, that's where we're going. Car. If anybody's been seeing the movie, what do you call it? Zootopia. But some purple flowers cause an awful lot of ruckus in that movie. Just saying. Sending people savage and shit. But we're going to have to figure out which way we want to go on the next episode because we're going to wrap this one up. We seem to always go through a village and then stop. Through a village and then stop. It's kind of, you know, you know. Again, guys, still really enjoying this. I like the storyline. I like getting to basically just pick and choose. It kind of reminds me again of Batman and Telltale series. If you guys are enjoying it, of course, do leave me a like, comment, and subscription. It really does help me out. If this is your first time seeing this game, go back to episode 1. Watch it over. There's only 4 episodes so far. They're relatively short. But go back. Make sure you're watching the whole thing so you know how we got to this point, of course. It's very story-based, so you don't want to miss anything. We did do some cool stuff. We got trapped and killed. Fought some bandits, fought something called a rat bear, found a witch. Again, we got one city to help another city with like a goblin problem that they were having. It was crazy stuff. Make sure you go, you see the whole thing. It's really good. You can follow me on Twitter at DM_cross. I'll put a link to my profile in the description below. But for now, guys, that's all I got for y'all. Peace. Love y'all.